Good morning everyone, welcome to my allotment diaries. My name is Emma, these are my allotment diaries. I share everything to do with my allotment plot on this channel, tips, tricks and just a general kind of day-to-day diary. I post 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so if you are new I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. You can also click the little bell below and you'll get a notification every time I post a video. So today's video is a little bit different. I want to share with you how I created the paths on my allotment plot. I get a lot of questions about my paths, how I did it. I think a lot of you guys are taking on new allotment plots at the moment and you want to know how to get going, how to create those paths. So I thought I'd just talk you through exactly what I did to create the paths and how I planned where they were going to go. I really hope this video helps. If it does, do feel free to share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share with one of your friends, or just save the video so you can come back to it and watch it another time. And let's get going. I'll show you around. When I was thinking about designing my allotment plot, one of the main things I was thinking was, how am I going to use this space? How do I want to feel in this space? How am I going to use it on a day-to-day kind of basis? I decided pretty early on raised beds. Raised beds, in my opinion, are so much easier because you can condition the soil to how you want it to be for each raised bed. So if a plant needs acidic soil, you can cater to that. If your carrots need a more sandy soil, you can cater to that in that raised bed. I also found that just the structure just made more sense to me. I just found it much easier to kind of play with the layout a little bit when I was just making set raised beds. So that was kind of a no-brainer for me. In terms of doing the paths, you can see behind me I've got this really long, quite wide path. It leads from the beginning of my plot all the way to the end of my plot. It goes from the shed all the way down to the compost heap. It's quite wide, I can get a wheelbarrow down it quite easily, and I can manoeuvre things that I need down here, like big bags of compost. I can get the wheelbarrow down with a big load of wood chip. I can store things on this path. So this is kind of my first path that I put in, a big long main path. Off that path you can see I've got lots of little raised beds, and then it was just kind of a matter of just weaving the other paths in and out of those raised beds. There are a couple of things you need to think about when you're making your path. You might be able to tell that I'm not the world's greatest wheelbarrow driver, and so the paths had to be wide enough for me to be able to make mistakes. That's a heavy wheelbarrow, and sometimes I've got really heavy things in it, so I'm always thinking about how's it going to turn around the corners of the paths. Am I going to knock anything over? Am I going to ruin my archway? So the paths need to be wide enough to accommodate a wheelbarrow. Then I'm thinking about being able to actually manoeuvre into my paths to get into my raised beds. You can see I don't want to be sitting on the bed behind me, so my path has to be wide enough for me to be able to actually squat down and do the work I need to do. And then I would say that it just has to make sense. I don't want paths that kind of weaving in and out everywhere like it's some kind of weird maze or labyrinth. I wanted really simplicity basically was key. All my paths are kind of at right angles, and it was really important to me that it was just really easy to navigate, and I can just get from one end of the plot to the other. I can manoeuvre all the way around my raised beds really easily, lots of room. Just has to be simple. So if we take a look underneath my paths, you'll see there are ground sheets that sometimes stick up because I haven't quite hooked down and pegged down all of them. Underneath that there's mud, on goes the ground sheet, and then on goes this lovely layer of wood chip. So much better. So why wood chip? Well, firstly, because at my allotment plot it's completely free. We get a great big pile of wood chip delivered every so often. Anyone can take it. So I just got myself wheelbarrow fulls of free wood chip to lay down for the path. Secondly, it can be topped up really easily. Obviously it's free, so anytime where the ground sheet comes up or it gets a bit, you know, it gets lost, I don't even know where it goes, to be honest. It's wood chip, what happens to it? But it does disappear. I can just easily top it up. Thirdly, it's really absorbent, so it absorbs water, which stops my plot from flooding, because all the water goes into the wood chip and I don't get great big puddles everywhere like I would maybe with concrete. And finally, it's just really pleasant to walk on. I find that it just stops the mud getting everywhere, so I can come here in the winter and I can walk along it. It's really pleasant to walk down actually. It's quite a nice texture under your feet, it's quite soft. For the kids to run around here as well, and I just find that it's just a really easy thing to put down. So that's why I chose wood chip. So there you go, I hope that helps you if you're thinking about how you're going to do your paths at your allotment plot. Just remember, there is no right or wrong way, and allotment plots are really versatile. You can literally do anything you want to the layout. Keep it practical, keep it simple, keep it maintainable as well, something that you can easily replace if it gets broken or ruined or whatever happens to it. So I hope that does help if you are in your first allotment plot and you need some help with paths. Leave any questions that I haven't answered below and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.